Hello, I'm BMillzebub, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing another Ask Me Anything. I'm pretty sure I already did one, but I can't seem to find it anywhere in my catalog of videos, so round two. A little while ago, I posted a poll on Twitter for an Ask Me Anything kind of thing, and here are some of your questions. Let's start with Doc Fearsome, who wants to know what the weirdest question I've ever gotten is from anything. Wow. I don't think I've ever quantified what the weirdest question I've ever gotten is. Uh, I honestly don't know this one. I've gotten a lot of weird questions, so I don't know. I really don't have an answer for this one. Sorry, Doc. Jen with one N, who actually has a few entries in here, wants to know if I'm a fellow insomniac, and the answer to that is yes. Most days I don't get to bed until sometime around 6 in the morning, so yeah, big fat yes coming from me on that. Purple Rhymes with Orange wants to know how long it's been since I realized I was a clone programmed by the reptilian overlords to replace my original self. I mean, technically no one's supposed to know about that, so alright, and back again for another round is Jen with one N, who wants to know what my favorite song is, uh, if I've ever played a musical instrument, one food I'll never eat, if I've ever eaten a fluffernutter, what do I watch on YouTube that is not atheist content, and do you like the band Ghost? She lies, by the way. This is not the last series of questions I get from her. But my favorite song, I don't really have one. It kind of depends on my mood. There are days where pretty much any song by Mushroomhead is going to be the thing to listen to. If I'm more of a happy mood, I know I'm going to get shit for this, but I actually like listening to Ellie Goulding when I'm in a good mood. I don't know. It just depends on my mood. Um, I have played music. Actually, played two musical instruments. When I was younger, I played the guitar, not very well, because I didn't want to apply myself to learning how to play the damn thing. I just wanted to play it. And for the first year or so, I wanted to learn how to play the violin when I started learning that. After that, my parents kind of forced me into it all the way up until senior year when I said, fuck this, I'm not doing it anymore. I genuinely hated that instrument. I really did. But every time I started to outgrow the violin that I was using at the time, my parents would buy me a new one, and they'd be like, oh, well, this money's not going to waste. Looks like you're playing an orchestra for another year or several. But yeah, I didn't appreciate much. As for food I'll never eat, I I don't think I'll ever eat bugs. That no, that's just too disgusting of an idea for me. Like maybe if it's literally a matter of survival, I'll do it. But no, no bugs. Not eating bugs, knowingly anyway, because allegedly you swallow something like 20 spiders a year or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't even know what a fluffernutter is. That's a concept that's totally lost on me. Never heard of them. Non-atheist content on YouTube. I watch channels like Harry Potter Folklore, Super Carlin Brothers, Let's see, what else do I watch? I'm actually taking a look at my subscription list because I'm not sure how to answer that. Star Wars Theory. There's a few Star Wars channels actually that I watch. Some science channels I watch. Because Science is a good one. Veritasium. Vsauce isn't really science. It's just kind of a hodgepodge of uh, random information. Creepypastas. I love creepypastas. And just to entertain something that's completely silly, I'll sometimes watch like conspiracy theory videos on aliens. Just it amuses me. It does. I don't believe we've ever been visited by aliens, but it's just fun to watch sometimes. And no, I don't like the band Ghost. I tried listening to them, but I'm not really sure how to describe it. It's difficult to tell them from most other bands for me because they kind of hopped on this pop rock bandwagon where everyone kind of sounds the same. You know, they don't take risks with their music from what I've heard. It's just not interesting to me. You know, and now I look like a total music snob. Thank you for that. Randolph Richardson asks what my experience in the basic training phase of the military was like. I'm gonna be honest, I hated it. Um, it we all know by now that I'm a night person, and if you didn't know before, you do now. I'm more of a night person, and even back when I was like 22, and I was going through basic training, I was more of a night person, and in basic, we were in bed by like 9:30 or 10 o'clock. Really not a morning person. I hate mornings. Um, so you know, we'd be up at 4 a.m. every day without fail, ass crack of dawn. I hated that shit, and it didn't help that my parents were going through a divorce and my sister was pregnant at the same time with my nephew. So yeah, that was a rough couple of months for me. And Jen with one N is back with more questions. I told you she wasn't done. She wants to know at what age I learned how to ride a bike. I was like 5, something like that. You know, pretty young, standard age, really. Um, was I an altar boy? Yep, was for many years. At first, I didn't really want to do it. It was one of those things my parents kind of pushed me into. Um, you know, as parents will do with their young kids. I mean, it's. But afterwards in high school, it's something I actually wanted to do because I was one of those Catholics that was a real pain in the ass about it. I wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. You know, I was that guy, basically. Who was my first crush? I have no idea. You know, I mean, I'm a few days away from being 33, and we're talking about someone I probably would have been interested in when I was like 6 or 7. Oh, actually, no, I'm lying. Um, I do. I don't remember her name or even what she looks like, other than she had red hair. Like I've always had a thing for redheads my whole life. It's and she was actually one of like she's the first babysitter I think I remember having, even though I don't actually remember her anymore. If that makes sense. But yeah, first crush was a babysitter. That's not a stereotype at all. Do I go camping or hunting? I would like to. Uh, I haven't been camping in a long time. I actually don't think I can remember the last time I went camping. But I went hunting a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, it was not terribly successful. I I'm just not a patient person overall, and I like to move around. I don't like to be set in one spot for too long. Although strangely, I can do that while I'm playing video games. But at least then I'm being stimulated by something. But hunting, it's just sitting there with no entertainment. It's just keeping an eye out for something to, you know, shoot and eat later. It's, yeah, I guess that was boring to me. Where is the furthest I've traveled? Germany. I mean, it was for the Air Force, so it was work most of the time. Well, not about half the time it was work. But yeah, I've been to Germany. And it's the farthest from home I've ever been. And what was my first doubt about religion? That actually would be prior to me actually becoming an atheist when I was like 19, I think, like 19 or 20. I started having the doubts that actually pushed me away. Um, but prior to that, I don't actually remember what the first doubt I had was, but I was like 14 or 15. Um, has to have been around then. But I was having some kind of doubts. I can't put my finger on what they are now because we're talking half my life ago. But yeah. And Purple Rhymes with Orange is back with Do I Still Maintain an Illusion that I have a life outside of taking care of my cats? No. Orla Seraph wants to know how I chose my name. That's actually really interesting. I was in a chat with a friend of mine on this live streaming site called You Now, and you know, on that site, I was just going by my name, like my actual name, Ben Miller. You know, and I asked for a tip on how to get bigger, and she told me that I'd want a name that would help me stick out a little better than Ben Miller, which is about as white bread of a name as you get. So I spent a little bit of time thinking about it, and I don't know exactly where it came from, but I was like, maybe I could make a play on Beelzebub, and from that, BMillzebub was born. And Jen's got another question. And I'm putting these out of order, so she may have actually stopped with the one where she said "and finally," but I don't know. She wants to know if I could snap my fingers and become a true adherent and believer in any religion, which would it be? And my answer is none of them. I would not. Why would I want to follow a system of belief that is not demonstrably true? It's the concept is silly to me. It makes no sense at all. I wouldn't do it. And Doc Fearsome has a follow-up for Jen's question and asks, alternatively, if you could snap your fingers and make any religion true, what would it be? Again, none of them. I I see no reason to change reality, to morph reality and turn something that's false into something that's true. It's it just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. So none. And Just a Humanist wants to know what is 42. And 42 obviously is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. But that's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click that notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you have any more questions that you'd like to have answered in a future AMA video, please leave them in the description below, and if I get enough, I'll make yet another one of these. If you feel so inclined to help me out, consider giving to me on Patreon, where I have monthly patron-only live streams, and hopefully we'll get enough money a month from it to get actually good internet so I can start live streaming on Twitch a little bit. Or you could consider getting me something from my Amazon wish list. Every little bit helps, and every little bit is greatly appreciated. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, linked below, to keep up with all my comings and goings, and join my Discord for a chance to talk to yours truly. Take it easy, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one.